Stop studying and do this first if you want to get rich. Do this to make $10,000. It might sound bold, but the truth is, you don't need to wait until you graduate or land your dream job to make real money. While your peers are drowning in student loans, spending every penny on parties, or waiting for a financial miracle, you could be building your financial independence, starting right now. That's right. Even if you're a student, even if you're starting from scratch, there's a clear, proven plan you can follow that can lead you to your first $10,000. But here's a heads up. This video isn't about shortcuts, get-rich-quick promises, or day trading strategies that feel more like Russian roulette. It's about consistency, a rich mindset, and practical actions that lead to real results. You don't need to know everything. You don't need extra money. But you do need one thing: to stop being a spectator of your own financial life. In the next few minutes, you're going to discover a path tailored for those who want to grow while learning, earn while developing, and finally move from theory to the practice of financial freedom. If you have focus, discipline, and the will to apply what you'll learn here, this could be the most valuable video you've ever watched. Because the first $10,000 don't just change your bank account, they change who you believe you can be, choosing the right income stream. Most people don't stumble due to lack of talent. They stumble because they insist on taking shortcuts, hoping to get there faster. It's like wanting to pick fruit from a tree before planting the seed. When it comes to financial freedom, there are no magic pills. Cryptocurrencies, meme coins, day trading, they all seem like tempting shortcuts until time reveals the truth. The truth is, strategy beats speed. And the first decision for someone starting from scratch shouldn't be, where can I make the most money, but rather, which income stream teaches me more about money management and financial intelligence? Haste is the enemy of financial discipline. Imagine a college student who barely understands how to track monthly expenses, but wants to multiply money with Bitcoin. It's like giving a Ferrari to someone who can't ride a bike. Before looking for income growth, you need to build financial self-awareness. You only understand how money works when you earn it through hard work, consistency, and responsibility. So, avoid those best disguised as investments. Want to learn real financial education? Try washing cars on a Saturday. Learn how to charge, negotiate, and save. That's the school of reality. See, the wealthy don't get rich by trying their luck in the market's casino. They choose paths with process, not promises. They choose daily actions, not impulses. You don't need a green chart on your phone to feel like you're thriving. You need clarity of direction, focus, and a strategy. The true rich mindset starts with simplicity. It begins when you decide to invest in yourself before chasing shortcuts. You don't build a house by starting with the roof. You start with a foundation, the basics done right. If today you want to break free from stagnation, from the cycle of debt, and from the anxiety that comes with a lack of money, then the first thing you need to do is stop looking for financial miracles. Instead, start small, start right. Stable income comes from sustainable sources of income, not from bets. Start with something you control, something that teaches you about real economics, about effort, delivery, and financial planning. Every conscious step you take in this direction will be a brick in your wealth-building foundation. The right question isn't how much can I make from this, but rather, does this teach me something I can repeat and scale? Because the real game of money isn't about what you earn today. It's about passive income, about creating assets, about planting now to harvest for years to come. And the best part? This real path, it teaches. It strengthens your mind. It prepares you for challenges ahead, as you'll see in the 4 practical ways to start making money, which are much simpler than you think. Mastering the 4 real options to start earning money. Not everyone starts with the same tools, but everyone can start with the same decision, to take control of their financial life. When it comes to making your first $10,000, the key is to understand that there are 4 solid paths, each with its own pace, challenges, and rewards. Some deliver quick returns. Others build a foundation for something bigger. But what do they all have in common? They all require consistency, action, and that old friend called responsibility. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You just need to choose the right model to roll with it. The first option, simple but powerful, is offering in-person services. Imagine a young person walking around the neighborhood offering to wash cars or walk dogs. Sounds small? But there, they learn disciplined communication, spending control, and even productivity. The money comes quickly, and the lessons are even more valuable. They don't depend on algorithms, luck, or the dollar. They only depend on themselves. And that's one of the greatest lessons financial education can teach. When you control the effort, you control the outcome. The second option is working with local products. Homemade cakes, accessories, crafts, custom clothes. It seems simple, but don't underestimate the power of a business that starts from what you already know how to do. A student who cooks well can start selling healthy meal prep. A college student who draws can sell custom art. This creates extra income, yes, but it also builds confidence. And when you realize you can monetize your creativity, you've taken a giant step toward financial independence. Now, for those who want to scale faster and reach a bigger customer base, the third option is selling global products. Whether it's through drop shipping, print on demand, or even a personal brand, this model has something powerful: scalability. Yes, it takes longer to see profits. Yes, you'll need to reinvest. But you're creating an asset, something that can generate passive income in the future. And that, my friend, is smart financial planning. It's planting now to reap later. It's understanding the process, not just chasing immediate results. And finally, we have the crown jewel: selling services online. Today, this is accessible to anyone with an internet connection and the will to learn. It could be video editing, writing, graphic design, social media management, whatever it is. Here, you combine high profit margins, global reach, and almost immediate returns. The best part? You earn while you learn and grow while you deliver. And if you keep going, you can turn it into a lasting income stream. But to do that, you need to do what few people do: master the skill pyramid, where the real magic happens. Improving your skills through the skill pyramid: positioning, leverage, reach, and automation. You can work hard every day and still get nowhere, because it's not just about working, it's about how you work. The difference between making $500 and $10,000 with the same skill lies in positioning. It's simple. The market doesn't pay more for who does more. It pays more for who positions themselves better. A designer offering creative artwork charges $50, but someone who helps companies sell more with landing pages charges $5,000. Same tool, completely different money mindset. Here comes the first layer of the pyramid: being where the money is. And this brings us to leverage. The magic happens when you stop selling time and start selling results. It doesn't matter if you edit videos, write texts, or manage social media. Companies pay for growth, not effort. If you charge by the hour, you become an expense. But if you show how your actions generate revenue, you become an investment. Want an example? If you create a sales funnel and it generates $30,000 in sales, charging $3,000 for that is financial strategy, not greed. That's millionaire mindset in practice. Now, if no one knows what you do, no one will pay you for it. That's why the third pillar is reach. You need to be where the eyes are. Create a digital showcase for what you know how to do. Show your work on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, even in Facebook groups if necessary. Make it a daily ritual. A beginner editor can post before and after edits. A traffic manager can share campaign results. Make your talent work for you, even when you're asleep. This is time and energy efficiency, and it increases your passive income. And finally, what separates amateurs from professionals? Automation and organization. If you don't stay organized, you'll always be putting out fires. And in this game, being late is worse than delivering bad work. Tools like Odoo CRM, Notion, or even a solid Google Calendar can save deadlines, relationships, and reputation. Remember, discipline and on-time delivery are worth more than raw talent. Clients want someone reliable who simplifies things, not complicates them. This isn't about mechanical productivity. It's about self-mastery, and that's the type of skill that builds a legacy. Many people say they want freedom, but few have the courage to structure this process. And it's exactly the structure, these 4 pillars, that will support the next steps in your journey. Because winning is great, but multiply what you win is even better. And that's where the right investments come in, extending your efforts even when you stop working. 4 ways to start earning money. Everyone wants a harvest, but few want to plant. And it's precisely at this moment that most people get lost. When it's time to start, they get paralyzed trying to find the perfect idea, the perfect business, the perfect moment. When in reality, what they need to do is take the first step with what they have. There are 4 practical, real, and proven paths that anyone, whether a student, a beginner, or someone with no experience, can follow to generate extra income and reach their first $10,000. And it all starts with the simplest of all, in-person services. Washing cars, walking dogs, mowing lawns, doing nails, cutting hair. Sounds too basic? Maybe, but it's effective. With almost no cost, immediate returns, and invaluable lessons in responsibility, proactivity, and spending control. You learn firsthand how to deal with people, price your time, and manage small earnings. And the best part? You build self-confidence. Because there, you see with your own eyes that money can come from effort, initiative, and daily action. It's a simple start, but full of power. Next comes local products. That brownie recipe everyone loves. The handmade bracelets you already make as a hobby. Or even secondhand items you can resell. All of that can become a source of income. Here, you learn how to manage inventory, margins, logistics, and monthly planning. The money doesn't come in every day, and it may take time to scale. But you start to understand the behind the scenes of a real business. You learn how to deal with profit, loss, customers who buy, and those who just ask for discounts. All of that is hands-on financial education. The third way to start with potential for much more growth is working with global products. You can set up a drop-shipping store, create t-shirts with print on demand, or even launch your own brand. Yes, it requires patience. Yes, you'll need to reinvest. But it offers something valuable: scalability. You're not stuck to the geography of your neighborhood. You can sell to the entire country, or even the world, and more. This type of business can become an asset, something that works for you in the long term. And that, my friend, is the essence of passive income. And finally, the most accessible and powerful option of all today: online services. Video editing, design, copywriting, social media management. Everything a business needs. And it can all be done from your laptop, at home. This is where the rich mindset meets digital intelligence. The costs are low, the returns can be quick, and the market is global. Here, the only barrier is how much you're willing to learn. With so many free courses, YouTube tutorials, and digital communities, the sky's the limit. But to turn these opportunities into solid income, you need to think like an investor, not just as an executor. Investments. To multiply your income, making money is important, but multiplying that money is what separates the average worker from the wealth builder. Many people believe the secret is making more, and of course, that helps. But without financial education, without financial planning, without knowing where to put what comes in, even the highest salary in the world slips through your fingers. That's why the next step in the journey isn't spending more, but investing better. And it all starts with the basics. A high-interest savings account. It won't make you rich, but it'll protect you when the unexpected happens. Having an emergency fund is like having a life jacket in the middle of the sea. You hope you'll never need it, but when you do, it saves you. Choose accounts that offer liquidity, security, and at least 1% to 3% return per year. It may seem little, but remember, the goal here is not to make a lot of money, but to keep your money accessible while avoiding unnecessary debt. When life surprises you, and it will, you'll have the peace to breathe, not the panic of selling assets at a loss. And that peace is worth more than any number on a screen. With a solid base, you can move on to index funds, ETFs, the darlings of long-term money philosophy. If you've never heard of the S&P 500, you're missing one of the greatest opportunities to build wealth consistently. Investing in this type of fund means putting your money into the 500 largest companies in the U.S., automatically, diversely, and with low cost. If you want something broader, try VDSX. For emerging markets, VWO or VFEM ETFs are great options. This is how you plant today what you'll harvest for decades. Now, if you want to add a bit more excitement to the game without losing your mind, we have individual stocks. Buying a piece of Apple, Amazon, or Ambev could be exciting, educational, and even profitable. But attention, This requires reading, studying, and monitoring. It's an excellent way to learn about companies, sectors, and economic cycles. But never invest more than you can afford to lose. The idea is to use a small part of your portfolio to explore, while keeping the majority in more solid and predictable strategies. And yes, there's room for cryptocurrencies too. Bitcoin and Ethereum, for example, have already established themselves as alternative assets with high growth potential and high volatility too. If you're entering this world, enter with financial intelligence, not with greed. Study what blockchains are, follow the market, and use the habit of saving to build your position little by little. Do dollar cost averaging. Don't bet everything at once. Invest in what you understand, and always keep your focus on financial freedom, not digital flaunting. Now that you have the map in your hands, the question is simple. Will you continue waiting for the perfect opportunity, or will you start with what you have, where you are, with what you can? You've seen that you don't need to be a genius, an heir, or the most talented person in the room. You need clarity, consistency, and a daily dose of purposeful action. It's in your hands to build extra income, develop high-value skills, and break free from stagnation with a solid plan, one that's already begun to take shape here, today. Are you going to apply any of the 4 ways to start? Are you going to create a conscious investment plan? Or maybe take the first step with an online service, using just your laptop and willpower? The most important thing now is to act. Because the difference between those who make it and those who stay stuck is that one decided, while the other waited for a sign that never came. So, which one do you want to be? If this content helped you, challenged you, or gave you a new perspective, leave a comment below about what you're going to apply first. Let's talk. Tell me where you are in your journey and what's still holding you back. And of course, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and keep learning how to build real wealth based on discipline, strategy, and personal growth. Your success starts with a simple click and one powerful decision.